Warning. This video contains an opinion, a bold opinion, and spoilers for the next data mines, being grid-wise and whatnot. So if that stuff bothers you, your chance to click off is now. Alright, so let's get into this, right? You guys saw the thumbnail. You guys saw the title. This is a big fucking deal. So, we are now getting fair 5 out of 5 grids. And, straight up, I am dreading this. Because I know they're not going to do this properly. We already see this here. I've seen a lot of people talk about this, a lot of different arguments. This is my stance and kind of not debating. Debating is not the right word here. But speaking about other people's opinions and really just trying to ask the right questions. I guess that's the best word for it. Because debating, debunking, those are not the right words here. So there are 3 pairs who are getting 5 out of 5 grids. That is Sigma Suit Wally and Gallade. Not Gallade, bruh. Sigma Suit Wally and Shiny Gardevoir, who looks a lot like Galliard, which is very funny if you guys know that game. We have Victor and Rillaboom. And we also have someone who is getting the tiles added, Raihan and Duraludon. So as you can see, 3 out of 5, these 4 were added. Each one only adds 2. And this is true with all these grids at the moment. Will it stay this way? I can't comment, because I don't know. But it looks like that's going to be the pattern here. Every 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5 will add 2 new nodes each, being 4 passives. And one of the arguments I have heard people who are semi-okay with this say is, oh, well, they're toned down now for the time being. First off, you did not read Gardevoir. If that is your opinion, you did not read Gardevoir. That one pisses me off so much. For 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 for Gardevoir, you get Fairy Zone extension. We know how broken extensions are. This is a no-brainer that this is insane. Head Start 1. She already has Head Start 1 at the start, so this would tack on top of that to Head Start 2, and Mega She has Head Start 2. It's meant to equal that out. That is insane, considering you can run this with regular Gardevoir because of Dazzling Gleam to lower special attack by 4, then have a Devastation-powered Sync Nuke from Diantha. This is a no-brainer. Then you have Discombobulate, so you can lower accuracy off Disarming Voice. Then Fairy Wish Team Brain Gain. So you can have 2 stacks of special next on top of Fairy Zone. If you think this is toned down, I don't know what to tell you. This is ridiculous for a 5 out of 5 grid. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going over the characters. This is not a data mine overview. This is purely talking about what this means for the game. So, when you look at toned down, your better example would be Rillaboom. Because you get max damage guard, which can be nice. Slip up, -2 speed when you use max move, not doing much. Overwhelm, you lower attack when you use a move, okay. And horsepower, BOGO 9. So you just get free moves. That's fine, but this is still very toned down. This is toned down. Wally is not toned down. No, let's go to Raihan. Someone who's been out, who's getting a rerun, who's getting these new things. Trip up twice and cakewalk. So speed -2 when you hit. Cakewalk for Sink Nuke. Sand Sink so you can summon your own Sandstorm. And Weathered Warrior 3. Weathered Warrior 3 is insane. You guys have seen Weathered Warrior on people like Groudon and Kyogre, who can Sink Nuke reliable, especially Groudon now. He can Sink Nuke with Weathered Warrior. You have seen Scythian Garchomp nuke with Sink Nuke tiles and Weathered Warrior. It's a free 30% for your Sink. For Duraludon, this is very good because you have abilities like Sandblaster, Surging Sand. So if you're investing in this pair, you want this in the weather. This is not toned down. So I don't get what people are saying by that. This is not toned down. They're already starting strong with already good base kits. Now, on the topic of Cynthia, let me bring this up. Let me bring this to your attention. What is stopping them from someone who's already gotten a power boost to get a 5 out of 5 grid? What is stopping them from doing that? What's stopping them from doing another power boost, taking these side extensions here and making them 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5? What's stopping them from doing that? Because the answer is nothing. If symmetry is your argument, let me pull up a great example right here. Blastoise. They added they added shit right in here. They added these, and they added like, I think it was this. Symmetry is not an argument here. He's going to get a power boost, and he's going to get a 5 out of 5 grid. Shit is going to go right in these corners right here. Symmetry is not an argument. So really, tone down, I don't know what to tell you. Now, the only way that this is okay, the only way is if they either A, increase the gem yield, they're not going to do that, or B, increase the coin and candy yield we get per month. This one is very realistic, and there are a few things that you can do for this. Because I always like to propose a problem with the solution. I don't want to be negative the entire time. So the easy solution for this is we get 2 coin missions per event, and we get candies through the difficulties. The simplest way to go about this is to simply add 1 more mission. 1 or 2. If it's an anniversary thing or a special thing, if you want to add 2. That's fine. No one will complain. And you have 3 and 4-star candies be exchangeable. This is the simplest thing you can do. People have been asking for this for forever. All you have to do is have a 3-star candy be worth 1 and a 4-star candy worth 2. We get multiple events per month. So let's say we get 3 per month, including reruns, right? So that right there is 6 move candies we're getting. 3 of those being 4-star that you can automatically trade for 6 additional coins. If they really wanted to, they can rework how CS points work and BP works a little bit to give a little bit more coins. That's another idea. But I think exchanging is the simplest way to go about this, and not a soul would complain. Because right now, in my opinion, the candy yield is a little lower than I would like it. If you just add the exchange, forget it. Everything's fine. But no, this is just so scummy what they're doing. Something else I have heard, and I know that you are watching this video in particular, not calling anyone out. I'm just presenting an argument. Was that Lodge? I know I haven't made a video on the Lodge, but if you know me on social media and Discord, you know my opinions on the Lodge. For the scrapbook, for 5 out of 5, you got a special frame for your photos. Now how this was presented to me, the only 2 sync pairs that benefit from 5 out of 5 at the moment are Cresselia, being a fair, and Eevee. Those are fine, because you don't need it, especially as Eevee's Gen Pool. Cresselia is just 2 additional Master Healers. It's not that big of a deal. But the scrapbook, they were experimenting with 5 out of 5, which is cosmetic. I said this is purely simp mileage, so I really don't care. I was like, okay, whatever. You give those simps something who went above and beyond. You give them a little bit of a reward. Fine. But the 5 out of 5 grids, just so another argument, right? Pairs will always be viable at 1 out of 5, so you don't need 5 out of 5 in general. This is mostly true. This is a PvE game. You will never need, in quotes, 5 out of 5. However, some grid tiles make pairs actually viable over other pairs and give them utility that they wouldn't previously have. And this ties into another argument that someone told me, saying, hey, it would really fucking suck if they were to lock a DPS's exclusive damage modifiers behind 5 out of 5. And to that I say, I would argue utility is worse and scummier. And Shiny Gardevoir is the exact reason why. Because if you need longer fairy zones, if you need more countdown, if you want special next on your team, all of that being utility, you need the 5 out of 5. There is no other way around it. You could argue the accuracy down. You could argue speed down off of Rillaboom. Those are additional arguments that utility is worse than damage modifiers. Now, where this really comes into play for me is supports that'll come out in the future. For example, Cygnus Chris and Suicune. They were very good 1 out of 5, but when you got them 3 out of 5, they were the most broken support in the game at the time. Lucario and Cygnus Aura Cynthia, who we just got. Imagine if her focus group was 5 out of 5. She would have no offensive support without that. Another argument, or something more funny that I heard, was that, hey, imagine if they put Fighting Zone Extension on Cynthia and Lucario as 5 out of 5 as a future update. I will lose my mind. I will lose my mind if they do that. But it is 100% viable. It's a discussion we can actually have because it's something DNA would fucking do. I think the coins is the best way to go about this. I'm not entirely against the idea of a dupe system being fully utilized. I was naive for thinking that they wouldn't do this for a long time. This was inevitable. It was only a matter when. But they're not doing it properly from what I'm seeing. You need higher coin yields or give more gems for people to pull these characters and their copies. It is that easy and That simple. That's all they need to do to make this work. Because if we could sit on 6+ candies for a banner to come out, that is perfectly fucking fine. Same argument as candies from before. You use them as you need them, not as you get them. It's the same argument. Because at that point, that is on you. But I do think even without this, even without 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 grids, candy yield was a little low. It was a little too low in my opinion. It took a little too long, in my honest opinion, to get a move candy for a pair. I think they really, really, really need to increase that. But now this is writing on the fucking wall. Increase it or your game is going to die. People are not going to spend on these banners to support this system. This will literally break the game. They're trying to squeeze more. It's going to do the opposite. I'm out.